All right. I'm going to try to keep this short. However, it's been a long time since I've updated on here. I actually took all my videos down. I don't think I'm going to put up all of them. I'm just going to put up the last two. I already did it. So, um, a lot of my old videos use music, and I know now that they're going to the videos. So, I'd rather keep the videos with the music so I can watch them if I ever want to. Um, yeah. So the last time I was on here, I was in my 20s. I am now going to be, I believe, yeah, it's I'm going to be 34 in July, which is insane to think about. It's kind of scary. Because I'm not quite where I want to be at in life. There's a lot of things I want to do that I haven't done yet, but transition obviously got in the way of that. Surgeries. I've had 5 surgeries, 4 of them within under 2 years. So, yeah, it was a lot. Um, but just an update on my life. Before I had my stage two, I met my now ex girlfriend. Um, I did date someone shortly. It was about 4 months, but we didn't really do a whole lot in terms of physical stuff without getting into it. But they worked with me and it caused drama, and it was just like not a good situation. So, and I've gone on dates, but nothing's really come out of it. So I'm taking a break. Anyway, so I met my ex right before stage two. I had to tell her. She actually thought I just wasn't interested because I wasn't making any physical moves, but it was because I wanted to tell her first. So I told her before, I think the night before I flew out, and she said that's fine. When you get back, we'll meet up. She ended up going with me for stage three, which I successfully had. I had the pump implant placed in. That was about 4 years ago now. So I've had the pump for 4 years. Knock on wood, because I'm trying to quit smoking. I started smoking at my workplace. It's kind of hard not to in an indigenous center when everyone else is smoking, and when you're stressed, which I've had a lot of stress with all the drama and stuff that happened in the first year of me working there. Now I'm trying to backtrack that. Anyway, I went from working in a stealth environment, being stealth for 10 years, to being openly trans at work, which I wouldn't do again, to be honest. If my videos come down again, it's because I've gotten another job and I'm stealth. But yeah, I had the pump put in. I got my arm covered slightly after stage two. So the majority of it's covered. I need to fill in my elbow and all the back here, and probably do some fill-in pieces just to finish off my sleeve. And then I'm going to start working on this arm, because this arm has a few new tattoos, including the Breaking Bad tattoo, Mac Miller, and the ship. These are old. These have been on there forever. I've got a neck tattoo. Actually, I have another neck tattoo on the back of my neck for my dad. But yeah, it's just been a rough couple of years. Oh, and how I found my workplace is a funny story. So I used to be friends with someone else who was trans. And we were friends from the time I was 23 till 33, so 10 years. And possibly younger than 23, because we talked a lot online before we met in person. And he just slowly got worse and worse with alcohol, and especially me being in recovery, that's not the best. And he started stalking me, essentially, and saying it wasn't stalking, but he'd blow up my phone 30 times in less than an hour. And he sent my now workplace after me, thinking that I was going to unalive myself. And they show up, and I thought they were looking for a party. So I pointed to I said, if you want the second floor, it's over that way. If you want the third floor, you got to walk around to the front. And then I look down and I see badges, because we dress regularly. I'm wearing a Death Row Records t-shirt right now. I wore that to work the other day, and I'll just wear a plaid or something over it, but it doesn't matter as long as it's not something really out there. You can wear whatever, because we're supposed to dress casual because we don't want to scare people off. We already have a radio that we have to wear on our hip, so kind of just trying to decrease the look of being as though we're police officers. So anyway, they came dressed normally, and then they asked, are you so-and-so? And I said, yeah. And I said, did someone by the name of, and I gave the name, happen to call you? And they said, we can't provide that information. I could tell by the faces that was the person. And I said, I know who did it. And they said, are you thinking of, and I said, well, look, there's a pot of Kraft dinner on the stove that I'm currently making. My scrubs are on the table right now. I'm doing laundry. I'm about to go to bed to go to work tomorrow, so no, I'm not thinking of that. And then I mentioned I don't really like my job, but I'm not going to go and do that. So we ended up talking a bit, and they said that I should actually apply there, and I did, and I actually got a role as a peer support worker. So that's what I've been doing for the last almost 2 years, or a year and a half or so. And I'm going to a wound care workshop later tonight. I don't feel like going, but I should go because I want to apply to another role that pays about 10 grand more per year. So I know I'll have to have some extra training for that. But yeah, that's been my life so far. I still haven't gotten medical tattooing because I want to go to Shane Wallin now. I did talk to the Brooklyn artist I mentioned before, but they were really sketchy and wanted pictures of that every week, even though I was already healed. And I said, no thank you, no. And the Vancouver artists, there's one that just stopped working, and there's another one who's actually more expensive, and I don't think the work is worth the amount of money that this person charges, because she goes between Las Vegas and Canada, and she charges US dollars. And I did the math, and for me to travel and go see Shane Wallin, who's the best of the best in San Diego, it's roughly the same price, if not cheaper, to go. So I'd rather go there than go to Vancouver and get upcharged for something I could get better done by someone in San Diego. So this was supposed to be short, but it was 8 minutes long. I'm sorry, but that's my update. That's where I've been.